If you're watching this video, then you are probably done planning, you're tired and sick of planning. You are simply just ready to start taking action, ready to be your best self, ready to be your higher self, ready to step into her. The truth is, we can plan all we want to, but if we are not taking action throughout the day, then our plan means absolutely nothing. Welcome to my world where evolving, glowing, and unlearning limits placed on you is simply the norm. I'm Christina Chiles, and I'm here to water your mind, to water your soul, so that you can do the same for others. It gets to a point where it's time to start taking action. You're not going to get anywhere if you are sitting around planning your best self, planning your higher self all day long, doing affirmations, doing scripting, watching motivational YouTube videos like this one can help you to a certain extent. But now it's time to implement everything that you want to do with discipline. Before we get into how to implement the things that your higher self would do, first I want you to think about who your higher self is. When you think about your higher self, what does she look like? What is she wearing? What does she even smell like? What is she doing for a living? What is she doing on a daily basis? Is she working out? Is she doing matcha and Pilates? Is she wearing makeup every day? Is she wearing heels every day? Is she dressing business casual? Is she dressing edgy? Is she dressing like a rock star? What is it that your higher self is doing without thinking about the restrictions or what you need to get there? Because we are going to talk about how to get there in just a little bit. Here's the biggest misconception about becoming your higher self and being your higher self. The person that you are now and your higher self are two different people. They are not two different people. Your higher self is inside of here. You just have to tap into her. You just have to tap into that energy. You are already her. You just have to unlock her. You don't necessarily become her. You are returning to her through alignment with yourself. People love to treat your higher self like some kind of fantasy person, fictional character that's in another timeline. The whole time, don't forget the power that you hold in your decisions, which we talked about in previous videos, to create this new reality. You can create it as soon as you want to, as soon as possible, as soon as you can. Remember that gap that we talked about in the last video? Confidence lies between the person that you are today and the version of you that you aspire to be. In between that gap is your confidence. And in between that gap is consistent embodiment of whatever that she is doing. Every time you choose to do what's best for yourself, every time you choose peace over chaos, every time you choose to emotionally regulate rather than lashing out on people, every time you follow your routine in the morning, every time you follow your routine throughout the day, that is embodiment through your higher self, and it fits in between that gap. You just have to fill it. When it comes to filling in this gap, you really have to focus on the present moment. I know sometimes that we can be on autopilot. We have a lot going on in our lives, but we have to focus on being more in the moment, being more aware, self-aware, constantly tapping into that higher version of ourselves as much as you can throughout the day, every single second. Do the things that make you feel like your higher self. For example, if you want to grow your nail business that is on Instagram, then you need to be posting 3 times a day. You need to be posting and doing more than what you are doing now. You need to be constantly putting out flyers, doing promos, showing your nail work, networking with other people so that you can get your business out there. If your higher self makes more money in your nail business, then you need to start doing the things today that that person that has already succeeded is doing. Sometimes it can be hard. And honestly, you really don't need a plan for this because deep down, you already know what that person is doing. You can plan to a certain extent, but your plans mean absolutely nothing if you are not implementing them. And I remember that there was a phase in my life where obviously I wanted to get back on YouTube. I was doing all this planning and what do I want to talk about? I know what I want to do, but about 2.5 months in of planning, I was like, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of planning. Can we just get to the action? I'm ready to go, go, go. It takes resilience. It takes persistence to constantly be getting over obstacles that involve fear. When it comes to taking the steps to become our higher selves, there's fear integrated in that. There's fear in there that you have to overcome constantly. Fear is really the number one thing that stops us from achieving what we want to achieve. Fear is really our only enemy. Fear can stop us and hold us back from becoming our best selves if we don't tell fear what to do, but fear is telling us what to do. You have to know that you are in control. Your fears, just look at it as a passenger. Look at it as somebody that's in a passenger seat and you are in the driver's seat. You never leave the driver's seat. Fear never leaves the passenger seat. Fear is simply just there and it can tell you what to do, and it's up to you whether you want to listen or not. You have the power to say that I'm going to make this decision, I'm going to do this today, or you can listen to the fear and keep procrastinating and don't get anything done until 2 years from now. You step into your power by telling fear no. By telling fear, I'm not listening to you today. You're not in the driver's seat of my life today. Obviously, fear can be a good thing when you are in a dangerous situation or something like that. I'm not telling you to do something spontaneous and dangerous that's going to be detrimental for your life. Don't put yourself at risk. There are certain kinds of risks that are good to take when it comes to being your best self. When it comes to embodying your higher self and being in the present moment, I really recommend meditation or whatever you do, whether that be meditation, praying. Just make sure that you are able to have a technique or have a way where you can constantly tap into yourself at any moment in time. When you do meditate, it doesn't have to be, ooh, you're closing your eyes all the time. It doesn't have to be like that. Sometimes you can just take a moment wherever you are. Nobody has to even know that you're doing this. Just do it. Practice taking in 3 deep breaths. Throughout those 3 deep breaths, think about your higher self. Think about what you can do in the next couple minutes to tap into your higher self and do the things that your higher self is doing. All of this really lies into taking action, and embodying your higher self has a lot to do with the small moments in life. Little things matter. Everyday little steps matter. A lot of people kind of find it to be scary to be their best selves because they're looking at it as something that is supposed to be a huge change, a huge leap, when that is not true. It happens through the small actionable steps that you decide to take every single day. Eventually, all of those steps will add up. You'll get higher on the staircase. One day, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I really got over my fears. Getting over that fear of judgment and getting over that fear of caring what other people think is also so important when it comes to this. This is how to stop caring about what other people think. You have to be so tapped into your higher self. You have to be so locked in with the small actionable steps that you are taking to become your higher self. We talked about how taking those small steps, overcoming fears constantly, is going to build your confidence. And once you're building that confidence, well, these other people can't tell me anything because I'm doing what I feel like I need to do to get to where I want to be. This person doesn't know any of the steps that I have to take. This person doesn't even know where I want to be. And this is not their life. And you have to realize that everybody is different. Everybody has different goals in life. Who are you to judge somebody else of what they're doing and the steps that they're taking to become their higher self? And if you are a person that judges somebody else for taking steps, God forbid somebody has goals in life. If you ever have somebody or you see somebody that is putting you down or somebody that's throwing subliminals, block, remove, delete, all of that. You don't need that kind of negativity in your life. You have to look at your environment. And I literally say this in every single video, but your environment is important. I'm not ever going to stop saying that, especially your environment on social media, because right now we live in a really super social world where everything is accessible and people can say anything and etc, etc, etc. So I understand that the fear that you have is probably higher at this point in time now. You really have to build tough skin. You really have to be confident in yourself. If you want a deeper dive into how to be confident, make sure you check out my previous video. And another thing to add on when it comes to your environment is remember you are also a part of your environment. While you're on this journey of embodying your higher self and taking the steps every single day to embody her, make sure that you are not doing it to prove somebody else wrong. Make sure you're not doing it for other people, for other people's opinions and other people's approval, but make sure that you are doing it for your own approval, for your own self, for your own confidence. You need to start acting like you are already that girl. You need to start acting like you are already her. I already accomplished this. Who cares what anybody thinks if you know what you are doing with your life? So people can only judge from a outside perspective. F what other people say, F other people's opinions, and if somebody else has something to say about you, then acknowledge it. Don't say nothing. Brush it off, move on with your life. 9 times out of 10, the people that are going to be judging you for becoming your higher self are the ones that aren't taking the steps to become their higher selves. And that's okay. They're just not at the point where you're at. Wish them the best, and hopefully one day they will learn. Let's get into a nice, juicy, fun part of being your higher self. Like, yes, take the action. Yes, do the little steps, but also start looking like her. Please start looking like her, because I swear when you tap into the looks, you change your appearance, then you are like, wow, I look like her. I'm becoming her. And when you start practicing that every single day, the more you are tapping into that feeling. It's all about tapping into that feeling constantly as much as you can throughout the day, 24/7. Not everybody wears makeup. Your higher self wears makeup every day. Wear makeup every day. If your higher self gets her lashes done, manicure, gets her pedicure done, if she wears heels, wears business casual outfits, wears edgy outfits, do exactly that. Do not care what anybody else thinks. This is your life. You live it how you want to live it. Whoever has something to say, bye. It's honestly very attractive when you are your authentic self. Once you start tapping into your higher self in an authentic way, you become magnetic. You become attractive. People are attracted to authenticity. People are attracted to somebody who is confident in themselves, somebody who doesn't care what other people think. People are attracted to people that know what they're doing, people that can lead them. We are always kind of looking for somebody to look up to, whether we acknowledge that person or not. It's always good and inspiring to see somebody else do what we want to do, or somebody that's achieving things in life. Some people can get this misconstrued, and they can have a jealousy or envious perspective on somebody that is embodying their higher self and taking those steps. Know that those that are jealous of you and those that envy you are actually inspired by you. They're quietly inspired by you, and we only become jealous or envious towards people that have the things that we desire to have. We just don't know how to handle that feeling of somebody else having what we want. If you are a jealous person, if you do struggle with envy and you do struggle with comparison, don't fret. I will be making a video on that and touching on that for you guys, I promise, because I know it is something that people struggle with a lot. When you do feel that jealous emotion, make a list of all the things that you have and all the things that the other person has. And if you want some of the things that this other person has, then figure out how to get that. Figure out how to get there. Make sure that you are also doing that in an authentic way, not in a way where you are copying them and being a weirdo. If you are a jealous person, just know that it is okay. It is normal. It is natural to feel jealousy and envy sometimes. Compare yourself to other people. Normalize not having that hate in your heart, but normalize having a go-getter personality. Normalize turning that jealousy into inspiration. Normalize turning that jealousy into motivation to become your higher self. We have to know that not all of us started off at the same point in time, at the same point in life. We all have our own unique, special journeys we are on. Honestly, life would be boring if everybody was the same. Life would be boring if there was no individuality in this world. Some people are attracted to who you are authentically as a person. You can help and inspire those kind of people that are inspired by you. Some people are for you and some people are not for you. And the people that are not for you can be inspired by somebody else that is. Start acting like her. Start really embodying that higher version of you, that version of you that you ultimately want to be. Do it unapologetically. It'll take practice. It's really like a muscle to work. The more you do it, the easier it gets, the better you will become. I hope this video inspired you, girly. Thank you so much for stopping by my world. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram to stay connected with me and for updates and more insight on my life, motivational quotes, motivational posts. If you need an extra push of motivation, make sure you follow my Instagram that's down in the description below. I hope you choose to stay. If not, you can always stop by whenever you feel so inclined to. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.